もうちょい下だ。
One list just wasn't enough to contain all the hotties of the anime world.
爪を立てるなよ。
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 sexy anime men.
You've got spare time, so let's do this.
For this list, we'll be picking yet another set of cute anime boys that dazzle, delight, and cause blushes every time they appear on screen. While we're all for the quirky cuties, characters like L from Death Note just missed the mark in terms of being sexy. Also, for the sake of safety, spoiler alert is now in effect.
You dumbass! Kick logic out and do the impossible! Remember that. That's the way Team Gurren rolls!
Number 10. Roronoa Zoro, One Piece.
Hey, you two. You're an eyesore. Get lost.
Luffy, trust me, there's no chance you'll survive with someone like him on your crew!
You want manly? Look no further than the guy who's aiming to become the world's greatest swordsman. After making a promise to a fallen friend, Zoro has pushed himself beyond the limit of the average sword fighter.
I'll clash swords with you.
It's an honor, Roronoa Zoro.
He's everything you could need in a first mate. He's loyal, all-powerful, and can seriously hold his liquor.
Whoa, that's his 10th mug!
No more. That's it, I'm done.
He may be a little blunt and have absolutely no sense of direction, but when you have a guy who's willing to sacrifice his own dream for the sake of people he cares about, well, that's a keeper in our books.
I set sail for only one reason, to meet you.
And what is your goal?
To beat you.
How foolish.
Number 9. Ren Jinguji, Utano Prince Sama. He may not be one of the main romantic interests to sweep the heroine off her feet, but by God did he manage to leave the rest of us hot under the collar. Naturally flirty but hardly superficial, Ren follows the same dream as his classmates of eventually becoming a musician. Inspired by his late mother, who also happened to be a pop star, he's a natural on the saxophone, showing us that while he may get overly jealous that every other guy has a better chance with Haruka than him, nothing will deter him for his true love of music. To be honest, we think she missed out. We'd happily listen to his sweet music any day. Number 8. Toru Oikawa, Haikyuu. You bet there would be a few wildcards from the sports anime genre making an appearance on this list. This one is none other than the Grand King of Volleyball. A rival player and former superior to secondary protagonist Kageyama, Oikawa is a powerhouse on the court. Adored not only by his fans but also by the press, Oikawa is seen as a prodigy by the volleyball community, constantly being interviewed, much to the chagrin of our heroes. While getting close may be an issue due to his dedication to the sport, there's nothing wrong with looking from afar. And what a view it is.
青葉城西高校主将の及川徹くんですね。華やかなルックスで女の子のファンも多く、人気も実力も兼ね備えた選手です。
Number 7. Jotaro Kujo, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise.
これからてめえをやるのに1秒もかからねえぜ。
Has there ever been a sexier family than the Joestars? Each generation just seems to radiate hotness. The grandson of Joseph Joestar, Jotaro is your typical stern protagonist who's definitely not afraid of beating the crap out of people who try to hurt him or his pals.
おいおいおい、何を慌てている。どこへ行こうってんだ。
Aside from one hell of a wardrobe, Jotaro is the quintessential bad boy. He's the man who finally put an end to the threat of Dio Brando in most of many battles. If you can put up with all the grumpy attitude and auras, who knows, maybe you have some potential husbando material on your hands.
スケの領収書だぜ。
Number 6. Genos, One Punch Man.
そうだ。もしも結果が変わらないのだとしたら、自分の全力を尽くさずして何がベストだ。
Can a cyborg blush? We're not sure, but he certainly managed to enrapture us. The ever-loyal sidekick to the One Punch Man Saitama, Genos is everything you could ever want in a partner.
外出ですか、先生。それなら俺も同行します。
来んなよ。なんかあったらまたお前の手柄になっちまう。
Forever loyal, courteous, complimentary, and considered an S-class hero in his own right, we can forgive the lack of natural body on him for his gentlemanly conduct.
これで正式に弟子ですね。おう。今後とも指導のほどよろしくお願いします。
Even though he does tend to get ripped apart by the stronger villains, he's got enough firepower and hero's ideology to make sure you'd always be protected. What more could you ask for in a man? Robot.
敵は今ので最後なのか。
Number 5, Kujaku, dramatical murder.
何してるんだよ、こんなところで。何って仕事、配達だ。お前は？俺も仕事だ。
He's the sexy son of a Yakuza boss, is adorned in more tattoos than you can count, and has a painfully dark past. All the makings of an anime hottie. Kujaku, like many of the residents on Midorajima, gets roped into the virtual world of rhyme and all the dangers that come with it. To be honest, we're far more invested in the fact that he's probably the only guy who can make hairdressing badass. He may be rough around the edges, but he's got a loving soul underneath.
今日はどこでお店開くの？私切ってもらいたいんだけど。
ああ、いいぜ。
We wouldn't take those womanizer rumors to heart either. He's so in love with Aoba, it's almost painfully obvious.
小さい頃のお前の笑顔が浮かんできて、そしたら無性に泣けてきて、辛くて悲しくて。
Number 4, Lelouch v. Britannia. Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion.
You don't want it to end here, do you?
What?
You appear to have a reason for living.
Girl, that's impossible.
Heir to the ruling empire of Britannia, Lelouch is a man who has become disgusted with the actions of his family and country, and so assumes the identity of the masked vigilante Zero in order to battle for the freedom of all Japan.
You should know your enemy. It is not people, but Britannia itself. It is a war you must wage, but not on the innocent. Take up your sword, fight for justice!
At least that's how it starts. Through the power of the Geass and his growing rebellion, he becomes more of an anti-hero as the series progresses, and certainly blurs the line between a gallant hero and sympathetic villain.
I, Lelouch v. Britannia, command you. Now all of you, die.
But don't worry, Lelouch, you won't have to use your Geass powers to get our loyalty.
Happily, your highness! Fire!
Number 3, Haruka Nanase, Free franchise.
だからちゃん付けはやめろって。
As part of what is often considered one of the steamiest ensembles in anime, Haruka lives to swim. That's not an exaggeration either. This boy loves water so much he will swim anytime and anywhere. Though since that always involves a sudden disrobing, we're not complaining. Strong but quiet, Haruka lets his techniques speak for him. He values the close bonds he has with his friends, not to mention the pretty heavily implied chemistry with his rival Rin.
水ないね。
だからやめとけって言ったのに。
Still, if there were anyone who could convince us to take a dip in the pool, it would be this beautiful swimming prodigy.
やっぱりハルちゃん、イルカみたい。マコちゃん、僕たちも泳ごうよ。
Number 2, Itachi Uchiha, Naruto franchise.
Why is it that the Uchiha clan is known by all and feared by all?
Originally thought to be nothing more than a traitor who had killed his own family and joined the ominous Akatsuki, Itachi turned out to be one of the series' most tortured heroes.
You're still too weak. You don't have enough hate. And you know something? You never will.
Like one of his signature illusions, the layers of his deception ensured that he would be scapegoated as a villain, all to ensure that the legacy of his family wouldn't be besmirched, despite the fact they were planning a coup d'etat. Considering that he had a moderate amount of sex appeal when he was a bad boy, the crushing revelation about his true colors was so emotional that we fell in love with him for totally different reasons.
By allowing you to defeat him, he had avenged the Uchiha clan. He made you the hero of the Hidden Leaf Village.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
分かったよ。ただし、これっきりだ。次は勝つからな。
はい。
Well, I can't exactly say I was expecting that.
Thank you. The Fang. It is the Fang I seek here.
Once I possess it, I shall transform myself into a far greater power.
And now I'm bored. I guess that's enough cell phone smashing for one day.
Number 1. Tuxedo Mask, Sailor Moon.
I am Tuxedo Mask. Sailor Moon, look into your heart and find the warrior within you. It is your destiny.
While behind the mask, he was nothing more than the brash Mamoru, or Darien in the West. When he put on that top hat and cloak, he became the dazzling Prince Charming that took the hearts of many back in the 90s. With the combination of vigilante and magician, this ally of Sailor Moon stole the show whenever he made an appearance.
I will fight with you.
Aside from being able to kick a whole lot of ass, the immortal romance he shared with Serena was wholly investing. Even if you think his whole look is cheesy, you can't deny this guy was a trendsetter for bringing sexy back in anime.
May I have this dance?
It's Tuxedo Mask!
Do you agree with our list?
まあそうだな。
Which anime guy do you think is the sexiest? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to MsMojo.
腹減った。飯だ飯。うどん食いに行こうぜ。
行きましょう。